put a half a cup of sugar in and a half a cup of oil.
Okay, why don't I have a call you? Okay,
Half a cup of oil. Now, in this, I will turn it on for just a second or two. And this is going to be my first sponge, and I will put 1 cup of flour into it. Now in my bowl, up to date, I have 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons full of yeast, a half a cup of sugar, and a half a cup of oil. And now I'm going to put in 2 cups of flour. And I also will put in my eggs at this time, 2 of eggs. This is a recipe that was given to me by a lady in Springville, because one day I actually decided when she asked me to. I have 2 eggs. So turn it on for just a few minutes. Now this is just stirred up together, and I will let this sit like this now for, maybe 20 minutes until the yeast just starts to work again. I can put away the oil. I'm completely through with the oil, and I'm through with the sugar, so that can go away. And then I can I never put away my salt or my measuring spoons until I put my salt in it, because it's real easy to forget to put salt in it. Now, that is all I will do at this time. Do you want to turn off the camera now? And now I have a nice sponge here that's nice and bubbly. And now I'm going to put in 4 cups of flour.
Teaspoons of salt. Where's your pink robe? Goes in the bathroom. You're going to stay inside because Jenny's going home. After you put in
5 cups of flour, you have to kind of start to being careful because on the 6th cup of flour you might get too much in, because it depends a lot on the day and how much humidity there is in the air. Now this is going to be alright with, and I only have 5 and 3/4 cups of flour in it. I'm going to mix it with the mixer for about 3 more minutes. Forming a nice ball, and it's not clinging to the sides, and I know from these two things that I have enough flour in it and it's pliable to my fingers. Now I will let it work a little bit longer and then put it all up. I end up with a nice ball of dough that's clinging to my hook, and what I do is that I put it on my breadboard and put the bowl over the top of it, and it'll rise here. My breadboard, this side of my breadboard I use for nothing but bread. When I get through cutting the rolls, I will put this side down away, and it stays nice for the next time. This is a good dough because it has little bubbles under it. All of the ingredients are stirred in, and it will be all right. It will be good bread. It will be good rolls, I hope. Now, if there's this could even sit here for a good 45 minutes before you do it. At this stage of the game, you can do anything with this. You could have put it in the refrigerator in a Tupperware bowl and done it tomorrow, made rolls out of it tomorrow. Or you can make rolls out of it now, put them in the refrigerator, and let them stay until 2 hours before you need them. I will roll out these rolls, put them in the refrigerator, because my time isn't good to leave them out and just bake them direct. Now, we will see you in maybe an hour to cut out the rolls.
Done?
Oh, I know, and I sound so dumb and I look so dumb. I don't like it. I have just taken my cover off my bread. It is ready to be put out into rolls. I am now putting some shortening on my cookie sheets, and I will now roll out my dough. I'm going to spank this dough, and it's the only thing you can really tell it. And it's just to get the bubbles out of it so that you can roll it out without too much more work. And you can let this stand for a few minutes while it settles down, I guess they call it. Glass, and I need a knife to spread the butter on. And I will roll this out. There's no grease on my board, only an accumulation of what's maybe happened within the last couple of times. This, I roll it out to about 1/8 of an inch. There's bubbles in this that you can hear popping. It's a live thing. Yeast is the one live thing you use in cooking. You can kill it, and it usually by putting too hot of water on it, or having it too old. but it is a live plant, and it usually will just about do anything you want it to do. I buy my yeast in a pound package and keep it in my freezer. It's more economical that way. And if you have things to make bread in your house and some yeast, you could feed a king if you have learned how to handle it. This dough is nice and soft and not sticky dough, not sticky a bit. Now, this is rolled out about the right way, and there's a few little bubbles underneath this, and you can kind of prick them like this. And it's all right if you miss a few, but it comes through. Now, what I do is I spread one side of this about an inch in. Then I fold over this, and I kind of make that seam smooth. And I cut it with a glass. There's biscuit cutters and things like that, but you always can find a glass. So I did have one time. Now, I was told once that if you turn these over, and I don't know why, but it works, that you don't have butterfly rolls. Remember, sometimes you have a roll that is spread wide open. These aren't like that if you turn them over. And so I do it. Then I take this off, these little nubbins, and take this down, and try to make this a little bit not so thick. Fold this over. Every time I try to have nice pen rolls with all of them exactly the same, it doesn't work out that way. But because I can't, even after doing them this many times, they don't all come out the same size. I had a friend who told me one time that I had such nice children that they were entitled to come home from school to warm bread and cookies. And so I took her word for it and used to do a lot of baking. And then we moved one time. See, I'm flipping these all over onto here. We moved once, and a lady, I guess in the ward, they thought that anybody with as many children as I had to make bread. So she brought me some, they were having a bazaar or something at their church. And she said she wanted me to make, I will spank this dough again because it's had a chance to raise a little bit while I was handling that other piece. And so this lady brought me 25 pounds of flour, and she says, we'd like you to make us 25 pounds of flour up into bread. And I said, I don't make bread. And she just kind of turned on her heels and said, well, after you've used up 25 pounds of flour, you'll know how to make bread and rolls and a lot of things. And she just kind of walked away, and that's really the time that I, in earnest, started to making bread and rolls, because I had to use up all that flour and give her all that bread. I think, though, that if anybody would ask my sons what they remember about home, they would say that we had rolls on Sunday and popcorn Sunday night, because that was two things that never changed.
He's being filmed right now. Did you call him? Richard Russell's?
Just tell him that the mail hasn't come yet.
The mail hasn't come yet. The mail's not come yet. Have a message for David?
Just tell him that. He called and asked me about the mail, and I told him we didn't have it.
See you.
A lot of people, when they make Parker House rolls, and I think this is what these maybe should be called, they cut out one of them at a time. But I had to find a faster way to do them than that, so I saw a lady one time that folded them over like this and cut out many at once. And I was always glad that I learned that from this person. Much time. My mother made biscuits. She called them biscuits. And she would take a little bit of dough and make a little ball of it. Now this pan of noodles here is ready to go in the refrigerator, and it can stay in there about an hour because my house is hot today. So I will cover it with some saran and put it in the refrigerator. And we could even bake them tomorrow if we'd like to, but we need them for today. And when I take them out, I will let them warm to room temperature, and I will show you how you can tell if they have raised enough. Just flip them over. There's nothing to be afraid of in making rolls because your ingredients are inexpensive. They usually turn out well. And at this stage, I could take this piece of dough here and make some